What's up, and welcome to Unspoken Conversations. I'm James Crow, and here we talk about issues and situations that are in plain sight. Things that people hate to talk about, but it needs to be said, from relationships, families, friends, and life. Our goal is to shed light and understanding so that just maybe we can start to rebuild relationships, families, and ultimately, our communities. What's up, guys, and welcome back. In this episode, I want to talk about signs of an emotional man. Ooh, fellas, don't get mad at me on this one. Some of y'all really need to hear this. Fellas, some of y'all really need to hear this because y'all don't know what emotional man looks like. Y'all think that you have the right to get angry. Y'all think that y'all real, so y'all can really get to snapping out and tripping on people. I don't play that. G. Yeah, you're emotional, bruh. You're emotional. Remember, anger, aggression, frustration, sadness, happiness, they're all feelings. They're all feelings. And the feeling is an emotion. You're an emotional dude if you can be just talking all over the place with how you feel, talking and how you feel. That's emotional. You're an emotional ass dude. So ladies, you get with a dude and he speaks a little bit aggressively about certain things. You can hear when the frustration comes out. You can be talking about a specific thing. You can hear when the aggression comes out. Example, dude's like, you ask him, so are we going to go get something to eat? I'm kind of hungry. And he's like, damn, we just ate like 2 hours ago. Are you hungry again? You hear that? That's frustration. That's frustration. That's irritation. You hear that? That came out a little bit harshly. Not mean, but it came out a little bit too harshly. Signs of aggression. You know what I mean? You say something to a guy and he's like, I wish you fucking would. You hear the anger? You hear the anger? You hear the aggression? That's an emotion. That's an emotion. Men, fellas, understand stoicism. You don't understand that? Yo, that's on you. That's on you. Ladies, pay attention. Pay attention. A guy that can get into his feelings like that is an emotional man. A lot of emotional men don't speak in sadness. They don't speak in sadness. They'll speak in anger and aggression oftenly, though. They'll speak real with almost like the lack of emotion. You know what I mean? But even if they speak in the lack of emotion and they talk with you real straight face and they show no emotion, just pay attention. Pay attention, because from that, if you get anger, aggression, or frustration, yeah, they're showing emotion even when they're being blank faced. That's still an emotion, but you have to be able to see what happens next. You have to be able to see what happens next. I know what it's like to be stoic. I know what it means to be stoic. So I can hear some news, good, bad, ugly, and I can sit there just like this. What are you thinking? You don't have no feelings? Nope. Doesn't matter what I'm thinking or feeling. They ain't supposed to see it. Whoever asked me this, they ain't supposed to see it. You're not supposed to see what I'm really thinking and feeling, especially with your eyes. You get what I'm saying? I could be ready to tear this whole bumbleclad club up. You ain't supposed to see it. You're not supposed to see it. You know what I'm saying? You never let your right hand know what your left hand's doing. So that's how that goes. That's how that goes. If a man is speaking what he's feeling, if he's speaking in how he's feeling, oh, you can see it. If you're paying attention, you can see it. You can definitely see it. You know, if he's always got that little riffraff going on, that's anger, aggression, frustration. There could be some resentment in there. He got some shit going on. He's got some shit going on. And ladies, you need to understand this. Ladies, you need to understand this. So some of y'all fellas that's got that shit going on, your kids need to see this. Your kids need to understand. Daddy's emotional as hell. Daddy's always fucking angry. He's always sad. He's always mad, frustrated, irritated. And don't nobody want to be around you because you emotional as hell. Now, me personally, I'm going to say this just like this. Right?
You ungrateful he bitch.
What was that? What?
What did he say?
Say it one more time.
You You ungrateful he bitch.
Yeah. What I'm saying is an emotional man is dangerous. And I don't mean dangerous in the sense that he'll really make some shit crack. I mean dangerous in the sense that you don't know whether he's up, down, right, left. You don't know what the hell's going on with him. This fucking guy is dangerous. And I say stay away from the emotional man. It is the emotional man that end their ass up in prison because they just snapped the fuck out and did something without thinking. You know what I'm saying? Thinking without thinking. Remember me talking about feeling versus logic? A motherfucker who reacts in feelings is just gonna make some shit crack. Ain't even gonna think. But that motherfucker who thinks in logic is gonna be like, I can do this right here, right now. But what's gonna happen to me in the end? What's gonna happen to me in the end? A motherfucker in logic is gonna change up his whole shit and make some shit crack in the shadows. And you ain't gonna know what happened by who. That's a motherfucker who reacts in logic. As if he even does anything about it. I'm not saying the dude in logic don't have to do nothing. I ain't saying that. But if a dude reacts in logic, he's gonna move differently. He's gonna move swiftly. He's gonna hit the shadows and make some shit crack. He ain't just gonna do something because he's a dumbass. That's the difference between a person who reacts in logic and a person who reacts in feelings. You gotta understand the two. They are not the same. They are not the fucking same. Watch how a person handles situations. Men, ladies, let me rephrase that. Ladies, watch how a man handles things in situations. Watch how he handles situations. If a man handles a situation in anger, with anger, he approaches it with frustration, anger, just, oh yeah, he's an emotional ass man. Most likely, he don't know how to handle the shit, so he's using aggression to handle the things because he thinks that's what's going to make things move and shake. That's not the case. That's not the case. A real man can look at a thing straight away and understand this needs to happen like this, this, and this. He ain't got to even speak it. He ain't even got to speak it. He can come up with the thoughts. He can come up with the solution in his head and be like, all right, I know what I need to do. What is that? What is it? Never mind. No, don't worry about it. So what was you saying? And go on to the next topic. Why? Because a man who has great logic, a man who can really take himself out of an emotional situation, think logical, that motherfucker's dangerous too. But he's dangerous in a different way than the emotional guy. An emotional man will just blow up and be a little pansy. And I better be careful using some of these words because I don't know what you can and can't use on the internet. Anyway, just gonna blow up and be a little fruitcake. How about that? I think that one should work. You know what I mean? Emotional as hell, just ready to just throw everything away. But a man in logic will catch that emotional dude slipping and really wreck shop. Why? Because he's reacting in logic, not feelings. So it's totally different. It's totally different. A man that reacts in feelings, he ain't thinking about the logic. He's just going to do something stupid and not think. And it's going to catch up to him. Because when that dude who's actually thinking catches up to the dude in logic, oh, it's going to be a whole ass problem. But let me get off these two dudes fighting because that's not what it was about. It wasn't about that. I was trying to use a dude to understand the opposite dude. An emotional dude to understand the non-emotional dude. That's what I was trying to do if you didn't know what I was doing there. Everybody ain't good in the IQ area, but that's neither here nor there. But seriously though, you can pay attention. If you pay attention, you can see how a guy thinks by how he acts and reacts to situations. You just got to pay attention long enough. Sometimes, ladies, you can go on a date with a guy and you may not even see what he's really like. So you got to spread it out. You got to talk in between those dates. And next time you have a date, 3 days to a week out, you can check to see the type of conversations that he's been having. Ask him questions. Ask him questions about his life. If you ask this dude, so you ever cheated? He'd be like, what the fuck would you ask me that for? I was just wondering. I mean, don't be asking me no fucking questions like that. You hear this? You hear this frustration? He's frustrated that you didn't ask him this question. You don't hear this frustration coming out. There's just a little bit of anger coming out. You don't hear this shit? So you literally gonna take this that he's saying to you right now and move past this. See, this is where a lot of women don't understand toxicity because a lot of that shit will get you wet. Will get you right in the mood. Will get you, oh girl, he's like this. He's like, nah, this motherfucker's a whole problem. This motherfucker, he's showing you. But later on, y'all want to bitch and cry because this motherfucker was a whole goddamn problem, and your ass accepted it because you thought that shit was cute. How does the saying go? Same thing to make you laugh will make you cry. Yo ass did that. Yo ass did that. So, yeah, just ladies, pay attention. Pay attention. You can save yourself a lot of grief by just simply paying attention, getting your ass away from some of the things that you overlooking. You know what I'm saying? An emotional man will rock your shit. Every time I've seen a man completely destroy a woman, and when I say destroy, I'm talking about like that. Every time I've ever seen a man destroy a woman, he was fucking in his emotions. He was in his emotions. He was mad, sad, angry, aggressive. He was all this. And when I say rock a woman, that motherfucker was emotional. We ain't even gonna get into what she did to deserve it or not deserve it. We ain't even gonna get into that. That is besides the point. If a dude is willing to take it that far as to really go in on a woman, that motherfucker was emotional. He was emotional as hell. I'll be the first one to say I don't think a man should ever hit a woman. But I think if a woman come back and she's ready to fire on a dude, I think she should understand the rest of the story. Yeah. If you put your hand in boxing gloves and you swing on me, I have the right to put my hand in a boxing glove too. I ain't saying it's right, but what do they say? Equal rights, equal lefts, baby. Ain't that what Pearl says? So I'm just saying, y'all better be careful with that shit. Y'all better be careful with that shit. Let me back off of that. Because some people's gonna take that wrong. And completely missing the point. So I don't know. Anyways, like I was saying, just pay attention. The signs of an emotional man is watch how he acts. Watch how he responds to things. Watch the words that he uses. Watch, you know what I mean? Aggression, frustration. Watch all these things. Watch his hostility and when he's talking to other people. If the motherfucker talks real aggressive, those are signs of emotion showing. It could be trauma from when he was a kid. It could be, you know, all kind of bullshit. It can be all kind of bullshit, but you just have to identify it so that you know what you're looking at when you see and hear it. You have to know what it looks like. Otherwise, you get into a relationship with this dude and later on, this shit just comes out, bam, full force. You'd never seen it coming. And you might be the one that has to deal with one of them. You understand what I'm saying? So just be careful with that. Be careful, because some of these motherfuckers out here got no holds bars. And it's not worth it. Ladies, it's not worth it. Just because you like a little spice in your relationship and you like your man to cut up a little bit and really turn up and put you in your place, that is not the type of way that I think a woman should want her dude to put her in her place. If that motherfucker gotta show you you better act right. If a man gotta show you that, nah, bruh, run. Run. Yeah, it's not worth it to me. It's not worth it. If y'all decide that y'all like that shit in y'all's relationship, hey, go for it. I don't want my daughters in that type of shit though. Cause somebody hit my daughter and she called me crying. I'm on my way. And we ain't having no discussion, bro. I ain't got not one sentence for you. You know what I'm saying? But that's because, you know what? Let me leave that alone too. But hopefully some of this sinks in. Hopefully you understand it. Hopefully it doesn't make you feel no type of way because I think and I feel this, or I think and I feel that. Hopefully it don't make you feel no type of way. Hopefully you understand this is just it's content. Somebody needs to hear it. Somebody needs to be able to take it into consideration. You know what I mean? It may not be for you. It may be for somebody else. You just have to understand, if it's not for you, it's not for you. Keep it moving. But somebody needs to hear this. You ain't got to like it. You ain't got to like what I'm saying. You ain't got to like none of my videos. You ain't got to like none of the shit that I'm talking about. If this is not for you, keep it moving. If it is, then somebody should get this nugget. You know what I'm saying? So don't come on the page trying to knock and trying to talk all this shit. Some of this shit is for somebody. I've had sisters that have done somebody and put their hands on them. I got nieces, somebody done put their hands on them. I got friend girls, somebody done put their hands on them. And sometimes they call me. So I know what some of this shit looks like. You know what I mean? I seriously don't think a woman should be dealing with an emotional ass man, because an emotional ass man will put his fucking hands on you. And if you ain't lived long enough to see it, that's
It is what it is.
so. With that being said, me and my daughter,
Nope. 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 Nope.
so yeah, we'll leave that at that. And while I'm on the subject of an emotional ass man, let me throw this in there. Here's what it looks like. Here's what happens in a family when the man is emotional. Here's what happens in a family, right? If there's a little boy in the house, it doesn't have to be a little boy. It could be a 5-year-old. It could be a 15-year-old. If there's a boy in the house and the boy sees this man, this aggressive ass man, this emotional ass man, daddy or stepdaddy, doesn't matter. It could be grandpa. If the kid grows up and he's seeing an emotional ass man in the house, what happens is this boy's only point of reference to a man is the aggressive man. That's his only point of reference of a man, is to the aggressive man. So what is the likelihood that this boy is going to grow up with some aggressive ass traits because what he's seen in a man was aggression? So, ladies, if this is what you got going on, if you got an aggressive ass daddy in the house, uncle in the house, brother in the house, stepdad, whatever, baby dad, husband, if you got an emotional ass man in the house, you need to be very careful of your kids, because your son see this and your daughter see this. And an emotional ass, a little boy watching an emotional ass man in the house, you're going to turn this boy into an emotional ass being. And what's going to happen is he's going to grow up using the same terminology, using the same language, using some of the same type of aggressive ass ways and all that shit. And for what? Is it really worth it? You know what I'm saying? So take that in consideration. The same thing with women, same thing with girls. If the little girl sees this emotional ass man, dad, brother, stepdad, whoever, husband, this little girl grows up seeing this aggressive ass man in the house, this emotional ass man in the house, you know what's going to happen? She's going to grow up thinking that's what a man's supposed to look like in the house. And what's she going to do? She's going to get with that very man. Not him specifically, but she's going to get with the man that's got those same type of traits. And she's going to move from that relationship to the next. And from that one to the next, to the next, to the next. And all these men are going to be just like the one that she saw growing up in the house. So ladies, pay close attention to what a fucking emotional ass man looks like, especially if you got kids. These motherfuckers is dangerous. They're dangerous to your household. They're dangerous to you. They're dangerous to your kids. They're dangerous to the fucking community. You know what I'm saying? You see an emotional ass man, run the opposite direction. These motherfuckers are not worthy of a relationship. I don't think they worthy of poom poom. But some of you motherfuckers is giving up the poom poom to these emotional ass dudes. What you like? You like bitches? You like bitches? Ladies, y'all like bitches? Notice I didn't say women. I said bitches. Because some of these dudes, some of these emotional ass dudes is bitches. And y'all like these fucking emotional ass bitches. I don't understand.
What did he say?
Look, I didn't mean to say that. I was a jerk.
I'm just gonna leave that right there. Maybe I was talking a little bit too fast. Maybe I should have said that.
We do not care.
Anyways, keep your hands off mine. I ain't playing that shit. But until next time, have a good night.
They are so full of the cap, man.